Hey, welcome to another speed build. In this video I'm going to be building a family lake house. So the house is going to have 3 bedrooms and a shared bathroom. I got my inspiration from a Facebook post, which I'll leave the link to in the description down below. So let's jump into it. I started off following the floor plans and did make a few changes. I created the lake using the swim pool option. This is pretty cool because then your Sims can swim in it. The only downside to using the swim pool is that you get a white border around it. It's really easy to hide though, just add a few rocks and plants. I'll do this later on using the Move Object sheet. I'll include a link below if you're interested in how to do it. You can also change the colour of the swimming pool with other packs, but if you don't have them then you can still do this by painting the floor and the walls of the swimming pool. The ground floor of this build includes a seating area, a single garage that I've never actually tried to make until this build, and a jetty. I found a boat in Debug and add this later on. When it came to choosing the brickwork for outside of the house, I think I tried nearly every option available and there were quite a few. I just couldn't make up my mind which one looked best. One thing that I did decide when I was starting was that I was going to have wooden cladding around the outside of the house. This would be on the first and second floor. I just felt that having all the house as brick would make it look square, and adding a second wallpaper would break it up nicely. When it came to placing the windows, I ended up going with these island living ones. I think these ones work really well with the house as I wanted to give the build a cabin vibe. I do change the colour of these a bit later on just because I thought they looked a little bit too dark when I added the wooden cladding around the outside of the build. I really do like the borders of the windows as I think they have a really nice wood effect compared to a lot of the other tall windows I had to choose from. The roof above the porch section was actually meant to have another room, which you'll see in the floor plan. At the time of recording this I just couldn't work it out. However, it was actually really easy to do and I'll be doing a video about this soon. I had to move the position of the chimney a few times to make it fit the way I wanted it to. I originally wanted it to be 3 wide, but the top part just didn't look right, so I had to move the rest of it to make it smaller. This then created a really annoying gap between the house and the porch, so I had to move the porch area. Stairs in The Sims 4 are definitely not one of my strengths. It does take me a while to get this right, as I couldn't work out how to get them the way I needed, but I finally got there in the end. I also realised that I made the house too long, so I had to bring this in, which created the front balcony as I mentioned earlier. I did try and take the floor section out by the stairs, but I couldn't work it out. If anyone knows how to do this, please let me know down in the comment section below, as I'd love to know. The first floor has a porch that you have to enter the house from. This is another thing that I haven't tried to make until I'd done this build. I wasn't completely sure if it was going to work or not, but I was actually really happy how it turned out. As well as the porch shows an open plan kitchen / living space. I did play around with the idea of making the kitchen a separate room, but thought that having it as one big room opened it up nicer. I don't like the kitchen counters that I have in The Sims 4, and I definitely think I need more. I can never seem to get them to match, but then again, this could just be me. In the end, I ended up using the cool kitchen stuff pack ones, but I did really want to use the base game ones, and ones with the mesh around the outside. But like I said, I just couldn't get the top counters to match. The wallpaper that I'm using is one of my favourites, but I never seem to be able to use it. I just never know where to fit best. With the space I had for the first floor, I'm really glad I didn't separate the rooms up. One, because it would made my life hard to decorate, and plus it makes the whole house flow nicely. As you can see, I'm playing around with the dining room table, and I wasn't completely sure which one worked best. I did try the small tables, but I think they looked too small. And I think if I'd gone for a rectangular one, it would have made the house look long and narrow. In the end, I did end up going for the one with the wooden top, but now I prefer the other one. When making any living room, I tend to use the tiny house stuff pack, but I did go for these base game ones instead as an alternative. Again though, I do tend to use these quite a lot. I do think they look a little bit square, but I try and angle them so they fit better. I didn't end up going with a coffee table in the room, and now looking I forget to add the side tables. I played around with overlapping the rugs and thought this would work really nicely, but in the end I just went with one and as I couldn't make it look right. I also added a bathroom, which at the time I thought looked massive. If I had the laundry stuff pack, I would have definitely added wash machines as I think it would have filled the space better. When playing The Sims, I don't tend to add a lot of time and effort into my bathrooms, but I tend to make them look really nice and simple. I add counters so I can add clutter items later on. On the second and final floor of the house, I create a layout for 3 bedrooms. It was meant to be 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, but I thought having an extra bedroom would be much better. Now looking back when recording this, I could have made the master bedroom smaller and put a bathroom in or even an ensuite. I always seem to go for a dull blue or grey room. This is what happens when you sit looking at bedroom inspirations on Pinterest. Now looking at this room, I feel that maybe it didn't need to be so long. This room ended up being bigger than the master bedroom, so I chose to make it into a twins room. I wanted it to look really girly, and to be honest, I think I could have probably done a better job. I started off using pink, but then ended up using way too many colours. I also feel that I could have possibly added some more clutter items to this room, but let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up button down below. It really means a lot. See you in the next one.